Hello everyone, myself Professor Rekha Kingi, Department of Civil Engineering, KLS VDIT Haliyal. I welcome you all for the lecture series on Construction Management and Entrepreneurship with the subject code 18CV51. Today let's deal with lecture number 3 from the module number 1. Now let's have a glance on what all we have covered in the previous session. In the previous session, we had discussed the significance of management, objectives of management and the levels of management. In the significance of management, we had discussed the various parameters such as achieving the goals and objectives, optimum utilization of resources, image, reputation and goodwill of the organization in the market, sound organizational structure, efficient running of business organization, successfully implementing the changes in the organization and better industrial relations. Along with that, in the objectives of management, we have discussed the organizational objectives, economic objectives, social, human or personal objectives, national objectives, etc. And in the different levels of management, we have discussed the top level management, the middle level management as well as the lower level or the operational unit management. Now with this background, today let's start with the introduction to planning. In this we are going to deal with the definition, the need for planning, what are the characteristics of planning and what are the different types of planning. Here we are going to deal with different types of planning based upon the scope and degree of details, based upon the time horizon, based upon the frequency of use and based upon the specificity. Now at the end of this lecture, the student should be able to know what is the importance or what is the need for the planning in any of the organization. And the student will be able to know different classifications for the planning. Now let's start with the introduction to planning. This planning, what is this planning? Why it is required? See, all business firms would like to be successful, increase their sales as well as they want to increase their profits. All managers dream that they have to achieve their goals within well stipulated time. But to turn on these dreams into reality, managers need to work hard in thinking about the future. They need to plan it. They need to make the business predictions and achieve their targets. Dreams can be turned into reality only if business managers think in advance and think what to do and how to do and when to do. This is the essence for planning. This planning is nothing but deciding in advance what to do and how to do. It is one of the basic managerial function what we can see. But before doing something, the manager must formulate an idea of how to work in a particular task. Thus, planning is closely connected with the creativity and the innovation which the people are having in an organization. The manager would first should have set some goals, some objectives. Only then the manager will know where he has to go, what he has to do and when he has to do. Planning seeks to bridge the gap between where we are and where we want to be at the end of the period or at the end of the execution of the task. Planning is what managers at all levels do. This planning will be done at all the levels, whether it is top level, intermediate level or the bottom level management. It requires taking decisions since it involves making a choice from the alternative courses of action. Planning thus involves setting objectives and developing the appropriate courses of action to achieve these objectives. This planning is involving setting up of the objectives, and these objectives provide direction for all managerial decisions and the actions. Planning provides a rational approach for the achieving of predetermined objectives also, and all members therefore they need to work towards achieving the organizational goals which are being preset. These goals set the targets which need to be achieved and against which actual performance has to be measured. So this will again depend upon the efficiency and effectiveness of the working environment. Therefore, planning means setting objectives and targets and formulating an action plan to achieve them. It is concerned with both the ends and mean, that is, what is to be done and how it is to be done. This plan or the plan that is being developed has to give some time frame, but the time is limited resource because it has to be completed within that duration only. It needs to be utilized judiciously. If the time factor is not taken into consideration, conditions in the environment may change and all the business plans may go waste. So, planning will be a futile exercise if it is not acted upon or implemented at the proper time. Now, coming on to the importance of planning. What is the importance of planning? This planning is certainly important as it tells us where to go, it provides directions and reduces the risk of uncertainty by preparing the forecasts. The major benefits of planning are listed here, that it is a basic function, it focuses on objectives. The planning reduces the risks of uncertainty, it reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. Planning promotes innovative ideas, it facilitates decision making and establishes standards for controlling. So first let's start with the basic function. Planning is a basic function. This planning provides a basic or it is a base for all other functions of management. Every function is being affected by the type and the nature of plan what is being formed. The entire process of management depends upon the planning itself. So the success of each of the function or each of the unit of the organization, it largely depends upon planning and the planning committee. Hence it is the primary function of any of the management. Then coming on to focus on the objectives. This planning primarily focuses on objectives and it directs the actions to achieve them. It defines the objectives more meaningfully with clarity and with precision. Due to the clarity in the objectives to be achieved, the action can be easily done or the initiation can be easily taken so that the organization can enforce the managerial actions successfully. Now coming on to reduced uncertainties and risks. This planning is proactive. It is proactive. Actions are taken before the things happen and this will reduce the risks and uncertainties. Since planning is based upon the systematic estimation of the future occurrence of the things, whether it is events or the materials or any other resource, a manager can reasonably project the future trend. Accordingly, he can devise the means and take the precautions in advance. The manager is in a position to take decisions more accurately as well as precisely. Thus, it has a direct positive impact on overall performance of the organization. So this planning reduces overlapping and wasteful activities. Now if we talk about this overlapping and wasteful activities, this planning serves as the base for coordinating the several activities which are to be formed and the efforts of the different divisions, departments and the individuals. This will help in avoiding the confusion and the misunderstanding between the different groups in the company or different activities in the company. Since planning ensures clarity in thoughts and action, work is carried on smoothly without any interruption. Useless and redundant activities are minimized and they are eliminated first. It is easier to direct or detect the inefficiencies and take corrective measures to deal with them. This planning promotes innovative ideas. Since planning is the first function of the management, new ideas can take shape of concrete plans. A strong plan. It is the most challenging activity for the management as it guides all the future actions leading to the growth and prosperity of the business. Now coming on to planning facilitates decision making. Planning helps the managers to look into the future and make a choice from various alternative courses of action. Out of the many of the alternatives, the best plan can be chosen. The manager has to evaluate each alternative and select the most viable proposition. Thus, planning involves setting targets and predicting future conditions, thus helping the organizational decisions. Now coming on to this planning establishing the standards for controlling. It will have the better control over all the activities. So this planning involves setting of goals. The entire managerial process is concerned with accomplishing predetermined goals, though planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. This planning provides the goals or standards against which actual performance is measured. By comparing actual performance with some standard, managers can know whether they have actually been to attain the goals or not. If there is any deviation, it can be corrected well in advance. Therefore, we can say that this planning is a prerequisite for controlling all the activities. If there were no goals or standards, then finding deviations which are a part of controlling would not be possible at all. So the nature of corrective action required depends upon the extent of deviations from the standard. Therefore, this planning provides the base for the controlling. And remember, controlling without planning would not be possible at all. And it will improve the operational efficiency. Efficiency implies the ability of the organization to achieve the objectives with fewer efforts, less cost and within time. It focuses on the objectives, establishes the priority, achieves the goal within the given resources and ensures maximum contribution of each of the units and maintains the balance among various activities. And this planning is important for the better coordination also. Now let's discuss the features of this planning. The planning function of the management has certain special features or certain advantages. These features throw light on its nature and scope. That means why planning is required. Even the features of planning explain it in a better way. Planning focus on achieving the objectives. Planning is a primary function of the management. Planning is pervasive, it is continuous, futuristic, it involves decision making and it is a mental exercise. So let's discuss the planning focus on achieving objectives. The organizations are set up with a general purpose in view to set their goals, to achieve their goals. Specific goals are set out in the plans along with the activities to be undertaken to achieve the goals. Thus, planning is purposeful, and planning has no meaning unless and until it contributes to the achievement of predetermined organizational goals or targets. Now, coming on to planning is a primary function of the management. This planning lays down the base for other functions of management, and all other managerial functions are performed within the framework of the plans drawn. Thus, planning precedes all other activities or all other functions. This is also referred to as the or primacy of planning, and the various functions of the management are interrelated and they are equally important. However, planning provides the basis of all other functions. Planning is pervasive. So, what is this? Planning is required at all levels of management as well as in all departments of the organization. It is universal. It is not an exclusive function of top management nor any particular department. But the scope of planning differs at different levels and among different departments. For example, if we consider the top management, it undertakes planning for the entire organization as a whole. Middle management takes care of the decisions in the department level, and the lower level takes day-to-day operational planning done by the supervisors. This planning is continuous. The plans are prepared for a specific period of time, and they may be for a month or so on. And at the end of that period, there is need for a new plan to be drawn on the basis of new requirements, new future conditions. Hence, planning is a continuous process, and continuity of planning is related with the planning cycle. Now coming on to the futuristic nature of planning. This planning is essentially involves looking ahead and preparing for the future or future trend. The purpose of planning is to meet the future events effectively to meet the best advantage of the organization. It implies peeping into the future, analyzing it and predicting it. And planning is therefore regarded as the forward-looking function in any of the organization, which is based on the forecasting. Though forecasting or future events and the conditions are anticipated and the plans are drawn accordingly, thus for the sale forecasting, it is the basis on which the business firm prepares its actual annual plan for the production and the ideas sales. Now coming on to planning involves decision making. Now planning is essentially involves the choice from various alternatives and activities. So if there is only one possible goal or a possible course of action, there is no need for planning because there is no choice. So planning thus involves through examination and evaluation of each of the alternatives, choosing the most appropriate one among those. And this planning requires application of the mind involving foresight, intelligence, imagination and sound judgment. In other words, thinking for the planning must be orderly and based upon analysis of the facts and the forecasts. Okay, now let's start with the limitations of planning. As there are many of the advantages of planning, there are few limitations which are associated with planning. This planning leads to rigidity. In an organization, a well-defined plan is drawn up with a specific goals to achieve within a specific time frame. These plans then decide the future course of action, and the managers may not be in a position to change it. So this kind of rigidity in plans may create difficulty in any of the working environment. The managers need to be given some flexibility to be able to cope up with the changing circumstances. Following a predicted plan when circumstances have changed may not turn out to be in the organization's interest. Planning may not work in a dynamic environment. The business environment is dynamic, nothing is a constant. The environment consists of a number of dimensions: economic, political, physical, legal, and social dimensions. The organization has to constantly adapt itself to the changes, and it becomes difficult to accurately assess the future trends in the environment if economic policies are modified or the political conditions in the country are not stable or there is natural calamity. So planning cannot forecast or foresee everything, and thus there may be obstacle to effective planning. This planning reduces the creativity. Planning is an activity which is done by the top management. Usually the rest of the members just they implement these plans, and as a consequence middle management and the other decision makers in the lower management level, they are neither allowed to initiate or show their creativity nor do anything which is innovative. So most of the time employees do not even attempt to formulate the plans. And this planning involves huge costs. When plans are drawn up, huge costs are invested in their formulation. They may be in terms of time and money. For example, checking the accuracy of the facts may involve lot of time, and detailed plans require scientific calculations to ascertain facts and figures. And this planning is also a time consuming process. Sometimes plans are to be drawn up so much to take up the time that there is not much time left for their implementation, and this planning does not guarantee the success. So these are the few limitations of the planning which we can come. Now let's discuss the planning process. Planning, as we all know, it is deciding in advance what to do and how to do. And this requires several steps. It starts with setting up of the objectives for the organization till following up the action. So let's discuss setting up of objectives. The first and foremost step in planning is to setting up of the objectives. And every organization must have certain objectives so that it can be achieved. Objectives may be set for the entire organization and the each department or a unit within the organization also. Objectives or the goals specify what the organization want to achieve, and it could mean an increase in the sales by 20%, which would be the objective of the organization, and how all departments could contribute to the organizational achievement of the goals is the plan that is to be drawn up, and objectives should be stated clearly for all the departments. They must also understand how their action contribute to achieving the objectives of the organization, and if the end result is clear, it becomes easier to work towards the goal. Now coming upon the developing premises. Planning is concerned with the future which is uncertain, and every planner is using conjugate about or conjecture about what might happen. He is just thinking what might happen in the future. No one knows that what is going to happen exactly. Therefore, the manager is required to make certain assumptions about what the future will be. These assumptions are called as premises, and assumptions are the base material upon which the plans are to be drawn. Now coming on to identifying the alternative courses of action. Once the objectives are set, assumptions are made, then the next step would be to act upon them. There may be many ways to act and achieve the objectives, and all the alternative courses of action should be identified. The course of action which may be taken into account could be either routine or it may be innovative. And if the project is important, then more alternatives should be generated and thoroughly discussed among all the members of the organization, and the best suitable method has to be chosen. Now coming on to evaluating the alternative courses. The next step is to weigh the pros and cons of each of these alternatives. Each alternative will have many variables which have to be weighed against each other, and positive as well as negative points or aspects has to be considered. In the financial plans, for example, the risk return trade-off is very common. The more risky the investment, the higher the returns is likely to give. So to evaluate such proposals, some detailed calculations of the earnings are to be shown, and the alternatives are evaluated in light of their feasibility and the consequences. Now coming upon selecting an alternative. This is a real point of decision making. This best plan, here the best plan has to be adopted and is to be implemented. The ideal plan of course would be the most feasible one and the profitable one, as well as with least negative consequence. And most plans may not have always been subjected to a mathematical analysis, and the manager will have to apply the permutation and combination and select the best alternative which is being possible. And now coming upon implementing the plan. This is the step where other managerial functions also come into picture. This step is concerned with putting the plan into the action, that is doing what is required. And the last one is follow-up action, to see whether the plans are being implemented and the activities are performed in well organized manner according to the schedule or no. And monitoring the plans is equally important to ensure the objectives whether they are being achieved or no. Now let's discuss the different types of plans. Based upon different classifications, there are different types of plans. First, let's discuss based upon scope and degree of details. Based upon the scope and degree of details, the planning can be classified into three categories, that is strategic planning, tactical planning and operational planning. Usually the strategic planning, they are formulated by the top authorities of the organization, comprising the board of directors and the top level management. And these plans pertain to the organization as a whole rather than to any specific department or the division. And also these strategic plans, they focus primarily on the organization's environment, their resources and their mission. And these plans focus more on the relationship between the organizational members and those who work in other organizations. And these plans must be adequately flexible to accommodate chances caused by or changes caused by the external environment factors. And the tactical planning, these are the detailed plans designed to implement the strategic goals and the plans formulated by the top level management. These tactical plans, they are derived from the strategic plans, and these plans normally they offer details of how the organization will compete with the chosen area, how the middle managers have the responsibility of formulating and implementing the planning. And these tactical plans normally they have shorter time frame than that of strategic planning. And the scope of tactical plans is generally broader than the operational plans but narrower than the strategic plans. Now coming on to operational planning. These operational plans aim at converting the strategic plans into reality through the specific, focused and the short-term plans. It also aims at supporting the execution of the tactical plans, and these plans, whatever are being done by the supporting staff, they are formulated by the department managers or the supervisors, and these plans identify the specific procedures and the actions which are to be adopted by the employees in order to achieve the departmental goals. These plans can be prepared for a week, for a month or for a year also. Now coming on to the classification based upon time horizon. Based upon the time horizon, the plans are being classified into short-term plans, intermediate term plans and long-term plans. These plans, short-term plans, are formulated when the organizations want to accomplish their goals within a short span of time. And this short-term plan period may not usually exceed one year. And here the organizations usually choose between short-term and long-term plans depending upon what they expect to happen and when they want to happen. In an uncertain environment, the organizations tend to prefer short-term goals and plans over long-term goals and plans. For instance, when the technological or the social changes are faced, organizations may prefer short-term plans as they permit more flexibility. Coming on to intermediate plans. Intermediate term plans define the organizational activities that are essential for the execution of the long-term plans and goals. When the environment becomes uncertain and long-term plans are unsustainable, then organizations tend to focus on intermediate planning as an alternative for goal accomplishment. And normally, the long-term and intermediate term plans, they are suitable for corporate and the business level goals, and while intermediate and short-term plans, they are fit for functional and the strategic goals. Coming on to long-term plans. The long-term plans are prepared when the organizations require long periods of time to reach their goals. These strategic plans are usually the long-term plans of the organization. Top management is normally involved in the formulation of long-term plans, and these plans may cover a time period of 2 to 5 years or more. Now coming on to the classification based upon frequency of use. Depending upon frequency of use, the planning or the plans are classified as single-use plans and standing plans. These single-use plans are generally prepared for one-time use, and the aim of these plans is to meet the needs of a particular situation, and they are developed to achieve the non-routine and the unique goals of an organization. The important forms of single-use plans are namely the programs, projects and the budgets. The programs are single-use plans that are prepared to handle specific situations, and they are when a large set of activities are to be carried out on a target-oriented and time-bound basis. And these projects are another form of single-use plan, but they are usually less complex in nature and have shorter time horizon than the programs. and typically the projects can be a part of program and also they can be independent. And these budgets are another form of single use plans and they are expressed in financial terms. A budget refers to the funds allocated to operate a unit for a fixed period of time, and these are normally cover a specific length of time, say 1 year, and serve a specific purpose. And the standing plans are repeatedly used because they focus on situations that recur regularly over a particular period of time, and the primary purpose of standing plans is to make the standing plans are normally developed once and then they are modified to suit the changing business needs. And important forms of standing plans include policies, procedures and rules and regulations. And the next type of classification would be based upon specificity. And based upon specificity, the plans are classified as specific plans, directional plans, contingency plans, planning and scenario planning. These specific plans are well-defined plans that do not allow different interpretations by different managers, and they usually ensure consistency and continuity in the decisions of the managers also. And these type of plans, they are apt for organizations that enjoy the stable and the internal environments. Now coming on to the directional plans. These directional plans are general plans that offer a great deal of flexibility to the managers in goal formulation as well as execution part, and they provide the general direction in which the organization proposes to move forward, but there are not specific plans or deadlines. And the directional plans are the best suited for uncertain and volatile organizational environment. Contingency planning. These contingency plans, they are specific actions to be taken by an organization in the case of crisis, setbacks or unforeseen circumstances. And these plans become functional in the event of unexpected happenings with the important consequences for the organization. And lastly, the scenario planning. A scenario means description of the scenes. Scenario planning is basically a modern forecasting technique which is used in the planning process. It helps in the learning about the future by understanding the nature and impact of the future trend which would affect the external environment of the organization. So these are the different types of plans based upon different criteria, and today let's stop at this moment. Thank you.